Oil crisis. If this one narrow strait shuts down, your next tank of gas could cost more than your weekly groceries. The Gulf's oil chokepoint. The Strait of Hormuz is a 30-mile wide chokepoint between Oman and Iran. It's the gateway for Middle Eastern oil. About 1/5 of global oil and LNG flow through here. In peacetime, roughly 140 tankers pass daily through Hormuz. Now only a handful get through. Crisis strikes, war and blockade. Since Feb 28, the U.S.-Iran conflict has effectively shut the strait. Washington's naval blockade and Iran's retaliation mean zero flow for most Gulf oil. Shipping data show only 3 ships transited in a recent 12-hour period, versus 140 before the war. Reuters reports 61 supertankers are trapped inside the Gulf now, many carrying up to 2 million barrels each. That's an ocean parking lot of oil, with 100 million barrels unreachable. Oil prices surge worldwide. The supply shock sent oil prices soaring. Before the war, Brent crude was about $70 barrel. In March, it doubled to $120 as Hormuz closed, then settled around $100 after a shaky ceasefire. Recent data show Brent near $102, still far higher than pre-war. In effect, 13 million barrels per day of oil are trapped. Traders warn that if the strait stays closed, prices could hit an all-time high above $150. That's what analysts see if Hormuz isn't reopened by mid-May. The hit to American wallets. That storm at sea is already on your streets. In March, U.S. inflation spiked 0.9%, the highest monthly jump since 2022, largely because energy costs jumped 10.9%. Petrol prices rose 21.2% in 1 month. The result, American drivers saw average gas top $4.15 gallon, up from under $3. Even now, forecasts show gas staying expensive. The U.S. Energy Secretary says prices have peaked, but may stay above $3 gal until the war ends. Others predict only a gradual decline. The grocery and shipping squeeze. And it's not just fuel. Everything that rides on a truck is getting pricier. U.S. truckers now face record-high diesel prices, about 50% higher than before the war. That's a massive jump for the 3 million truckers hauling America's goods. Reuters notes this is driving up transportation costs and prices for many consumer goods. In practical terms, higher fuel means higher food and product prices at your local store. Meanwhile, UN food experts warn a prolonged Hormuz crisis could trigger a global food price surge by choking fertilizer and grain exports. Airlines and travel. Travel is feeling it too. Airlines are already adding fuel surcharges as jet fuel runs tight. U.S. officials warn jet fuel shortages could hit this summer. In Europe and Asia, governments are even eyeing jet fuel stockpiles. In other words, your flight tickets or vacations could cost more if Hormuz stays blocked. The response in forecasts. The U.S. and others are scrambling to offset the crunch. Washington has released 172 million barrels from its emergency reserves and even eased some oil sanctions to boost supply. OPEC Plus officially agreed to a small output hike for May, but that's only 206,000 barrels a day, under 2% of the lost supply, which won't make much difference until Hormuz reopens. In fact, OPEC officials note that when Hormuz is closed, even large output cuts from major producers are ineffective. Breaking news and what's next. The situation remained volatile. Mid-April reports said gunfire struck container ships in the strait, and Iran seized several vessels, keeping tension high. A rumored ceasefire extension was announced by the U.S., but Iran hesitated. In short, the blockade is tenuous. If a full reopening does happen, markets will breathe, but not immediately. Analysts warn even after any deal, supply won't snap back overnight. The longer Hormuz stays blocked, the longer this price shock lasts. Conclusion. So why does Hormuz matter to you? Because every gallon at the pump, every loaf of bread, even your travel plans are tied to this distant strait. The next time you pull up to pay at the pump or swipe your card at checkout, ask, was Hormuz behind this price hike? The answer will dictate whether we head into summer with relief or pay even more for fuel and groceries. What would you do if gas hit $7 a gallon?